You know, there's nothing like being behind the scenes, and I'm so excited because tonight on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, we have the authors of Take Off the Mask and do what? Put on the crown. Is that right, Don? Did I get that right?
No, no.
Okay, what is it again?
Drop the mask, share the crown.
Drop the mask, share the crown. They're in the
You
building
got
right
it.
now. So say hello, everyone. Say hello. I'm doing it. Wave at them. Say hello. I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. Okay. Drop the mask and share the crown. The ladies are in the building. We're behind the scenes. They showed up for one reason and one reason only, and that is to change your life. And they'll change your life if you let them. They show up, they're ready. So we're going to jump right into it. Y'all are wondering, who are these folks? We're going to start off, and we're going to introduce Ida. And she'll at least tell us her name, her full name, where she's broadcasting from, and the name of her chapter. Ida.
Hi, my name is Ida Crawford, and I'm in Littlestown, Pennsylvania. And the name of my chapter is You plus Me equals We.
You plus me equals we. Why that title? I mean, take maybe 60 seconds. And for those folks that are hearing that title, why that title? Tell us about that.
Because when you reflect back on life, you've never done anything alone. Never. From the day that you were born, you had support. There was some type of teaching, collaboration from somebody or someone. So that's why I named my chapter that, because of what I ended up reflecting back on through my own personal experiences.
Love it. And Wendy, when you hear those words, you plus I equals we. Did I get that right?
You plus me.
You plus me equals we. Wendy, when you hear those words, what goes through your mind?
Well, what goes through my mind when I think about that is the fact of the collaboration and everybody coming together and becoming one and having one ultimate goal and supporting each other.
I love it. Support each other. And that's what this is all about. You're all supporting each other right now. This is so amazing. All right, we're going over next to Karmen next. Don't worry. She's over there. Karmen will tell you the exact same thing. She knows the question by now. Like, what is her full name? Where is she broadcasting from? And what's the name of your chapter?
Hey, Shay. My full name is Karmen Trice, and I'm broadcasting from St. Louis, Missouri. Hey. And the name of my chapter is called Transparency Call.
Transparency Call. So for the single mom that's watching right now, for the married couple that's watching right now, for the entrepreneur that worked all day and they're a dualpreneur all night, why should they tune in? Why is this chapter even important to them?
This chapter is important just because I talk a lot about relationship versus religion with God. So having that relationship with God, everybody should have versus just strictly religion. So that I go in depth about that.
Ooh, okay. We can't wait. We get on the other side. Ladies, we're in the green room right now, so we can ask any question we want. We go on the other side. We'll ask them to do a little more of a deep dive into that. Don't worry. We're going over to the one and only Dr. Bridget. She's sitting over there right now. We're going to ask her, I know, what's her full name, where is she broadcasting in from, and what's the name of her chapter. We'll see if she's as proud as they were over St. Louis, by the way. Like, I'm in St. Louis is in the house right now. I'm in Washington, D.C. I'm proud, too, by the way. We're here, too, representing.
Thanks, Shay. My name is Dr. Bridget Williams. I am from Columbus, Ohio, and my chapter is The Unexpected Crown.
The Unexpected Crown.
Yes.
Okay. I know it's unfair to ask, but in 60 seconds or so, tell us a little bit about that. The Unexpected Crown.
Yes. So the Unexpected Crown is all about how overcoming negative experiences, and actually by uplifting others, that you can find your true calling and uplift yourself. So.
I love that. Okay. Now I've got to ask, because we were just talking to Karmen and she was listening, by the way. And I'm curious, when she said uplifting others, what was going through her mind? Like she heard you say those words. Karmen, what's going through your mind?
Well, uplifting others, I think, is something that's always needed. Just because there are times in our walk or in our career that we definitely need to be encouraged to go the extra mile or to keep going. So I think uplifting is definitely something that's needed, that we all need.
Ah, okay. I
daily.
love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing. All right, we're going up to one and only Wendy. What's going on, Wendy? I'm not going to ask you what I'm talking about. By now, you know the question. The audience wants to know. So talk to us. What's your name? Where are you broadcasting in from? And what's the name of the chapter?
Well, my name is Wendy Banks Rhodes. I am broadcasting from Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville.
The name of my chapter is Lead by Example.
Okay. Now, you can't just leave us hanging. You know what I'm going to ask. I mean, you can't just leave us hanging. You could have filled in the blank and said, Shay, what that means is, because you just left us hanging. Like, lead by example. Everybody's like, all right. So I don't even have to ask the question. Talk to us.
I don't want to leave you hanging, but what I mean by lead by example is be that light in the midst of the darkness. You know, I can explain that in one way, just like you go to a movie theater. When you go to the movie theater and the movie has already started, there is lights under the steps, and those are very, very, very dim lights. But when you see that little glimpse of the light, you actually can see where you're going. So you have to be the leader, just like that light, that little speck of light overpowers any darkness.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we get started. We'll get started in a minute. We're going to go to the other side. Don't worry, I'm going to come to Wendy. She's going to start right off and tell you about this. She's going to light it up, and then they're going to come bring it down the home stretch. She's ready for you, I know. Dawn, you're the visionary. This is your baby here, and you brought a team together. Take a moment, if you can, for the audience that's hearing for the first time. Drop the mask, take off. Drop the mask, share the crown. Talk about what the genesis of that's about. I should write it down, shouldn't I? There was a time I could memorize this stuff. There was a time.
There was a time.
There was a time.
Write it down. Say it's okay. We love you anyway. And you know, it's kind of a difficult title. So it means a few different things. But my vision for this, a lot of people have asked, what is your vision? What was your vision when you started this project? And my answer is simple. It's women in unity. That's what it is. And, you know, like some of the authors have already said, nobody does anything. Ida said, since birth, we don't do anything by ourselves, right? And so we're in a place now of, you know, everybody feels that someone else is in competition with them. And it's not, you know, most times that's not true. It's not true. So, you know, just working together, collaborating, the divide that our country's in right now, I think that women can make the difference if we can link arms. All women, all types, races, ethnicities, you know, religions, just coming together as one people.
Wow, I tell you, it's an honor and a privilege to be here tonight. We got it behind the scenes. We've got an exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a show. We got to get going. I love to do this. This is my favorite part, and we'll get to the details on the other side. But we got a show in 5, 4, I can't wait, 3, 2, 1. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We got a show. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big, 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 big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I like to always share, at least almost every episode, that I believe you have 3 visions. At least I do. I think you first have a vision for yourself. There's a certain type of food that you want to eat. I pray it's organic or whatever you like. There's a certain home that you want to be in, and it takes resources to make that a reality. And some of you want to have air conditioning and heat. I get that. There's a certain car you want to drive. To make that a reality, you need revenue to purchase those resources. And then the second vision I believe you have is you have a vision for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about. You know, the kids you want to send to a school of your choice. Some of you out there, you want to make sure you write a check for someone's health care insurance or pay for their mortgage during these times. It takes revenue to make that a reality so you can purchase those resources. And the third vision I always say that you have is you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And I like to start off by saying the example of Noah in the Bible. And you don't have to be a believer, although I happen to be one. You don't have to be one. But imagine you were Noah in the Bible. And imagine that you had this vision, I believe, given to you by God. So many of you have experience right now. Many of you have expertise right now. And it's much bigger than you. And imagine before Noah got started that there was a knock at the door. And someone said, yo, Noah. They did say yo back in the day, by the way. Yo, Noah, there's a problem. There's no hammers in the house. Noah says, no hammers, no big deal. I don't worry. I don't panic about that. Then there's another knock at the door. He's like, what's up? And they're like, Shorty. They did say Shorty back in the days. I want you to know that. There's a problem. What's the problem? There's no nails. No hammer, no nails. Rule number 1, I don't panic. And maybe you're not panicking right now. But then someone else in the back, and they're yelling, Noah, back here. Noah, me. He says, what's up? There's no wood and there's no people. Good luck putting this boat together. For some of you, when you take off the mask, when you share the crown, you start getting resources. You start able to execute a vision that's much bigger than yourself. So this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is, no matter where you're on the world, the authors of the anthology, Drop the Mask, Share the Crown, are here to help you. Ladies, say hello to everybody. Just wave and say hello to everybody. Let them know you're alive. They're real. They're here. They're here for you right now. And so we're going to jump right into it because it's not about me. It ain't about them. But we're going to start, don't worry, with Wendy. And we're going to ask Wendy, for those folks that just joining, to tell us again your name and tell us where you're broadcasting in from. And then tell us the name of your chapter.
My name is Wendy Banks Rhodes, and I am broadcasting from Nashville, Tennessee. The name of my chapter is Lead by Example. And by leading by example, you are being the light in the midst of a dark place. And also you are being that example of the changes that you want to see.
The changes that you want to see. And tell us, why did you pick the name of that chapter, number 1? And number 2, what's one idea for someone that's watching right now? It's like, I like that, Shay. I like that. I'm feeling them right now. And they're saying, you know what? I want to be the change. I want to be that light. So take a moment and tell us why this chapter. And then what's one idea? I know you can't give it all away, but what's one idea that someone can walk away with now?
Well, one idea that they can walk away with is if you are a manager or in a lead position, be willing to get your hands dirty. Don't bark orders. Be able to lock arm in arm with those that are working with you, not working under you, because we work together collaboratively just so that we can have that end goal that's positive, that we can continue to encourage each other to do a better job or to have that end goal.
I'm wondering, as Ida's listening over there, and she talked about, you have to encourage other folks. Talk. What's going through your mind right now? She's saying those words.
Amen. Because to me, there's 2 type of leaders: the ones you want to follow, and the ones you feel like you have to, just to get your paycheck or whatever it is you're dealing with them with. And it's very unpleasant. And what a lot of management or leadership doesn't understand is that you have to be able to serve in order to be a leader. Number 1, that's a requirement of leadership, is being in service.
being in service. That says so much. Take a moment if you can, Wendy, and tell us about a time that you had to be in service and what it meant, what it meant for you and how you felt.
Well, I am actually a nurse. So I've been in service for about 20 years being a nurse. So, given the fact of being a unit manager, my nurses sometimes fall behind on certain things and they're overwhelmed. So, I would jump in and I would do those things that they're not able to do. And I need them to focus on other things that's more important that they need to do. So for me, that's my service, is to be able to pick up the slack and help them be successful in their job.
Pick up the slack and be successful. Support other folks. For the persons out there saying, wow, I'm overwhelmed right now, and I know this is an unfair question, and they might be wondering, what's an idea or suggestion that you could share with them? They're like, God, I got this mask on, and I do want to drop the mask, but I'm overwhelmed. You don't understand. I've got to make sure my family's taken care of. You don't understand. I'm also a leader at the office. You don't understand. I'm also a leader as an entrepreneur. I got a lot going on. So what would Wendy say to me that can kind of help me during this time and trying to juggle so many things in the air? And that person's not alone. If you're watching right now and that's you, Wendy is going to share something that will help you right now. Talk to us, Wendy.
Well, what I would tell that person is take a step back, take a deep breath, start writing down a list of those things that are most important that you need to do right now. That's a 911. Anything else can get pushed back. Don't become so overwhelmed and consumed with those things that are not important right now. But just make sure that you're able to function. Don't do everything at one time. It's one thing at a time. But make sure the things that you do are the most important things first.
Do first things first. As they say, second things never, right? For those folks that are out there, do me a favor. I'm going to ask Dawn in a minute to come on and kind of share why this chapter and why now. But for you out there that's watching at home, do us a favor, hit the share button. One of the things we believe in is the giver's economy. We believe the person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. So do me a favor, hit the share button. And when you hit the share button, that means you are paying this message forward and helping someone else. When you hit the share button and that little box pops up, you can just put in that box, drop the mask and share the crown. Just put drop the mask and share the crown. Do that now. Hit the share button. If you didn't do it, hit it now, please. Help someone else out there right now. Dawn, your committee decided to bring this chapter in. In a moment, I'm going to ask you why. But before I do that, we want to go back over to Wendy, and we're curious, Wendy, what's one reason you decided to be a part of this anthology? You could spend your time, your energy, your efforts doing so many other things in life, but you said, no, I want to be a part of this anthology. So number one, why? And number two, how's the experience been? We want to know. Forget Dawn's here. We don't care about her. What's the experience been like? We want to know.
Well, why this project? I felt like being in management, I have watched so many people have like the wrong idea about management or people that are in lead positions. And I have watched leaders who did not lead by example. They barked orders and didn't want to help anybody. But being the fact that I was that different type of leader, I wanted others to see me be that example. And not only for me to be that example, as they watch me, I want them to be able to lead as well. And that's the reason why I chose this project, because somebody needed to hear the fact that they're important and that they too can be a leader. And also I love Dawn. So I love Dawn. And this whole project has been so great for me because all of the women that I have encountered, they are all willing to share the crown. I'm going from nursing into a whole new field. And at times it can be a little bit touch and go because nursing is a little bit different. and you're so used to being so hands-on, but these ladies has made it so easy for me because they're all willing to help, give me information, and nobody makes me feel like a question is too much. Certain questions is just too much. And that's what I'm loving about this. And this collaboration thing is awesome.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. That certainly means a lot. Dawn, as you're over there, why this chapter, and more specifically, why Wendy for this particular anthology? You had a lot of choices to make, and you decided this is one of the ones as a committee that should be accepted.
I did, and I chose each one of the beautiful ladies that are in this anthology just by the innovative way that we think about collaboration one way. We think about it as just, working, on a business venture hand in hand with another woman. And collaboration is so much deeper than that. So each one of these ladies has touched on collaboration from a different aspect. Each story is not the basic, collaboration story that you're thinking it is. When I was reading the chapters that they wrote or listening to them when we were going through the interviewing process of what they felt collaboration was, it was just so different. And I got so excited about the project just because everybody was bringing something different to the table. So I think that the reader is really going to be surprised at the read. It's going to be fabulous.
Well, I'm excited, Wendy. Thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We certainly appreciate it. We're going to come back to you. I can't wait to hear more about what you're doing in a moment. We're going to go over to the one and only Karmen, by the way, and Karmen will find out about her chapter and why she's doing it. Then we'll get a chance to talk to Ida, and then we'll get a chance, don't worry, talk to Dr. Bridget Williams. She'll bring it down the home stretch. But first, while we're here, let's go over to the one and only Karmen. And Karmen, I did say your first name, but a lot of folks are tuning in for the first time. So tell them your last name. Tell them where you're broadcasting in from. We'd love to know where you're broadcasting in from. We just want to know. And then, because you're so excited about it. And then, more importantly, the name of your chapter.
Okay, I'm Karmen Trice, and I am broadcasting from St. Louis, Missouri. And the name of my chapter is The Transparency Call.
The Transparency Call. Now, you heard the other person, and we always say, don't leave us on the edge. You said the Transparency Call. Before you go into it, transparency means different things to different people. It really does. So take a moment and tell us what is your definition of transparency and then why it's so relevant to this chapter so we kind of understand it.
So transparency for me in this chapter is alluding to being relatable. Some people are just not as relatable, and I'm coming from a spiritual angle. So I'm coming from more of a relationship versus religion is really what the whole gist of being transparent. So being transparent in your relationship with God, and that way it's people are looking at your walk and they are looking at your authentic walk. So they are more attracted because now you're more relatable, and then now you're opening them up to witness to, so that you can win them to Christ. I feel like a lot of people wear this mask and they are not as approachable because they don't seem relatable. So I found that me being transparent has opened the door and allowed people to, approach me and, not feel as though I'm not the same as they are, So I think that when they read this chapter, they'll see how I quickly shift from religion to relationship. So.
Well, you got to tell us about a time where maybe you had to be transparent, and maybe if you feel okay with doing that, and how that helped you along this journey. We're all on the edge of our seats, by the way. We're like, wow, this is sexy, this is cool. The other topic was cool too. Don't get me wrong, but they're like, whoa, like okay. Was there a time that she had to be transparent, and what was it like? I know it's unfair, it's 60 seconds or 90 seconds or so, but frame it for us. And then what did you learn by being transparent?
Well, I learned by being transparent. There was, again, when I first started, when I first got saved, it was more religion. So I'm trying to be this cookie cutter, and I'm trying to actually, tiptoe and not really be true to my authentic self. So within that time, and this is just a range of time that I'm talking about, so not a specific experience, but within that range of time, I'm looking at people like, oh, reading the Bible, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that, until I found my own self in a situation, and finding myself in that situation is like, okay, if I had been transparent from the start, I probably could have got help from someone that, that had been in that same situation. So for me, I think with being transparent, again, it helps me be more relatable to other people, and like I said, win them to Christ.
Wow, you talk about being transparent, talk about relating, being relatable. I'm wondering, as Dr. Bridget's over there listening, what's going through her mind when you hear the word "be transparent," "be relatable," so that you can accomplish what you want. What's going on in your mind, Dr. Bridget?
My first thought is, I think that's what separates us as women, that we have these preconceived notions of who the woman is next to us, when in reality we're so much of the same, right? And by dropping some of the guards that we have and dropping the mask that we carry, we're all in the same boat. We can all support each other. We can all be there for each other. And as Karmen is saying, it's just allowing yourself to be relatable, and in other words, really being vulnerable. And that's what can bring us together.
Being relatable, being vulnerable. I'm going to ask, and I know it's a very, very important topic, and I'm going to ask Ida if she'll take maybe 60 seconds. And when you hear about being vulnerable and being transparent, I ask Ida, what's going through your mind?
Well, one of the things I know is there's nothing on the earth that hasn't happened to somebody else. Number one. And number two, when you're vulnerable, it makes other people feel as though they can do the same. You give other people permission to do the same. And I think it's very important that we show people that we're human, just plain old human.
Wow. Just plain old human. Love it. Now we're going back over you, Trice, as you're sitting there, Karmen. Folks are probably wondering why this anthology. In all seriousness, I know I asked that question before. You could do a lot of other things with your time, but you decided to commit your time, your energy, your resources to this anthology. So why did you decide to share your message with this anthology? And more importantly, what has your experience been like?
So I decided to share my message just because I have many life lessons that I don't want to hold hostage. I want to be able to help someone that has went through some of the same things that I've went through. So I felt like I needed to let it out. There needed to be an outlet that I at some point needed to let it out. But once I talked to Dawn, I feel like she was so genuine with it. And I eventually thought, I took the minute to think about it. And then I thought, this is the opportunity for me to let it out, to put pen to paper and let people know, this is what happened to me, and I can definitely be there if this has happened to you. So just to help and heal other people was one of my main interests.
Well, you're making a difference for a number of folks that are out there, by the way, helping them heal. For those folks that are watching, I'm going to go over to Dawn, but do me a favor, hit the share button. Like take a moment, it's 2 thumbs, I get that. If you listen to the podcast, I know you can't do that. If you listen to on Apple TV or Roku, you maybe can't do that. But if you're watching live and you can, then hit the share button, like 2 thumbs, click, or hit a button right now and pay this message forward. They're here for one reason. That is only to help you be a better version of you so you can serve more folks. Thank you all that hit the share button. We really appreciate that. Dawn, take a moment and tell us, I've asked the question before, why this chapter, and more importantly, why Karmen?
When I talked to Karmen for the first time and she told me a little bit about her story, which of course I'm not going to give away because you have to read her chapter to find out. It was intriguing to me because, like I said, every chapter is just totally different. And when she told me about it, I thought about it and I was like, that really does, that goes with the collaboration piece of this book. But then when she put it in writing, oh my gosh, when I read it, when she got done with her chapter, I'm like, this is it. This is what it's all about. Just from such a different aspect, which, like I said, it just makes it so interesting. Because as a visionary, you talk to people and they let you know what their thoughts are on the subject, and of course you select the authors. But then when you get those chapters, it is the most amazing experience ever, because you just don't know what magic you are going to read, and it's so exciting when those chapters start rolling in. So Carmen's was, definitely intrigued me from the start, just because it comes from such a different place.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Karmen, thanks so much. I can't wait to hear more from you. I certainly appreciate you being here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, and more importantly, sharing your message, sharing your story, and helping other folks be a better version of them. We're going to go over now to the one and only Ida, and we're going to ask Ida the same question. Number one, Ida, tell them your full name. Tell them where you're broadcasting in from. Tell them the name of your chapter, and you can just jump right in and tell us why that chapter is so important and why it had to be told.
Okay, I'm Ida Crawford. I'm in Littlestown, Pennsylvania, and my chapter is You plus me equals we. And basically, the chapter is important because I want people to read this chapter and really reflect on what it is that people have helped them to do. What type of collaboration experiences are you experiencing on a day-to-day basis? Because we all are, but we just don't pay attention to being in that moment when it's actually happening. But we get that synergy all day, every day from something and somebody.
Synergy every day from something or somebody. Tell us a little more about that, please.
Well, I mean, I do IT, so I'm always collaborating with people. And it's just not the thing where I'm fixing a computer. I'm learning about the kids, what's going on with the family. Maybe some personal things might end up coming out, and it'll be an opportunity for me to encourage and support that person to have a better day. And you just never know when that's going to happen. It just sort of happens. And when the conversation is over, I made somebody feel good. I fixed their computer. They're happy about that. And it's just an awesome feeling within to be able to help people and communicate and just go back and forth with things that empower the both of us.
I love that. And I wonder what's going through Wendy's mind when she hears you talk about collaborating, hears you talk about serving other people, helping them feel better in what you do. Thanks for what you do, by the way. But I want to hear from Wendy for a moment. Wendy, she's speaking the kind of language I heard earlier as well. What's going through your mind right now?
What's going through my mind right now is being absolutely authentic and being who you are when dealing with others. As Miss Ida was talking about, being able to make a person's day when they come in and they have so much stuff on them that's heavy, and she's able to solve one problem and another problem. I mean, just her being her authentic self and being open enough to listen, to be that listening ear that may have been just that thing that that person needed. And that is more important than anything.
Being that listening there, being supportive. You know, Ida, I've asked the question of a number of folks already, and I've asked them why this anthology. Why did you feel that now was the right time to tell this story, tell as part of this group, and more importantly, what has your experience been like? We want to know.
Oh my goodness, it has been an amazing experience. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, all of the doom and gloom, and, it's just, it can be mind boggling, it can be depressing. And being able to participate in this project gave me an opportunity to really make a difference, I felt, and all of the people that are going to read this book and embark on all of the authors, you know, feelings and emotions that got put into each and every chapter. it's going to make waves. I believe that it's going to make waves across the globe.
It will make waves across the globe. In fact, it already has. You're here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You're making a wave. Everyone do like this. Everyone do wave. Wave. Give me a wave. Don, this is a wave, Don. This is a wave, Don. I know Don don't know nothing about
This is
that.
the
But down
wave.
there in Mississippi, we're gonna help you out. We're gonna help you out. All right, now they did a wave. You've already started the wave, so it's coming your way right now. And here's the good news. The energy you get from them, you can pass on to someone else. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel so good? She talked about serving other people. Don, why this chapter? Why Ada?
Well, Ida and I, we are the true, we are the epitome of collaboration because we met at a conference 4 or 5 years ago, and we have collaborated and just kept in touch with each other ever since. And so we contact each other. Of course, she's a technical person, and anyone that knows me knows that I so am not. So, I call my girl. I'm like, I need help. I don't understand this. And so we have collaborated just by meeting. We only talked while we were on breaks at this conference, and we've just built a relationship, and we have had numerous discussions about different things, and so I just knew that she would be a great addition, to the anthology. And her chapter's amazing. Her chapters, I mean, she proved me right. That's for sure. So, yeah, she was a definite yes.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited. Thanks a lot, Ida, for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thanks for being here. We're glad you're here, and we're glad for your energy and your expertise. So thank you so much. Coming up next, don't worry, Bridget's been sitting there. She's been getting her thoughts together. She's been getting her stories together. She's like, is it my turn yet? Put me in the game, coach. Put me in the game. Well, Dr. Bridget Williams, it's time to be in the building, to be in the house. So if you would, take a moment. If you would, I said your name, but they don't want to hear from me. Tell me your first name, last name, full name, where you're broadcasting from, and the name, you know what I'm about to say. They all say it with me, of her chapter. That's right, of her chapter. Take it away, Dr. Bridget Williams.
Thank you. So my name is Dr. Bridget Williams. I am in Columbus, Ohio, and the name of my chapter is The Unexpected Crown.
The Unexpected Crown. That's loaded with a whole lot in it. So we got to get your definition. What in the LL Cool J is the unexpected crown? And number two, how does that benefit the person that's listening right now that's going through some things? Talk to us.
Absolutely. So the unexpected crown is all about if you are uplifting others, you can find your true journey and your true path. And so my chapter is about how in my experience in medicine and dealing with sexism and racism and so many issues along the way, and I turned away from what I was experiencing and really started focusing on my patients and what they needed, and really turned the whole way that we do medicine, kind of turned it around and started seeing my patients one by one, the way they needed to be seen, and it freed me. And so by uplifting others and really instead of completely focusing on my own issues, I started putting that energy on others. I was served by their journey. So that's the unexpected crown.
So you're serving others to help serve your journey along the way. I'm wondering, as Karmen is listening over there, I'm wondering what's going through her mind right now.
Well, to serve, I mean, you definitely said serve. So serve, with saying serve, I would say I would piggyback off of what Ida was saying earlier, that to be a good leader, then you definitely have to have served. So to what she is talking about, and to what the doctor's talking about, Dr. Bridget is talking about, as far as serving her patients, you want to make sure that you are serving all the time, just because, like I said, if you just to be a good leader, you have to serve. So you're serving your patients, you want to make sure that you are serving them to, what they need, what their needs are.
It's all about serving. I love that. Dr. Bridget, take a moment And when people hear the word serve, why is that so important? You kind of started down that path, but I want to give you time to connect the dots. For the person that says, yeah, I don't mind serving, but I want to make sure that I'm taken care of. Talk about the importance of being able to give, and that's what I'm hearing, and helping other folks. Give us another level to that, if you would.
So when I decided to even consider being a physician, I always considered a position of servitude, that to be able to be invited into someone else's life, to serve and be there for them during the most vulnerable times of illness and sometimes during the lowest points, to be able to serve and uplift others is an amazing opportunity. And I think it's something that is part of the art of medicine that has really been lost over the last, honestly, couple decades, to be quite honest with you. But that was something that stuck with me. I was even discouraged being part of a large health system to talk about medicine in that way. I had physicians that say, well, I'm not in service to anyone, but in my heart, that is what I believe that I was supposed to do. And so instead of doing the cookie cutter every 15 minutes assembly line medicine, I took a step back and really started saying, what do my patients need? What do they want from me? And I started doing longer visits against, of course, the discouragement of management. I started looking at patients were unhappy with, for every diagnosis, there was a pill. If you didn't like the pill, here's another pill. You got side effects from one, we're going to add another pill on. And they were so unhappy with that. So I started creating a group where my full focus was taking patients off of medications, getting them to a point of reclaiming their wellness and being empowered. And by seeing them and understanding what they wanted, it freed me. It gave me the opportunity to be an entrepreneur, to really look at really understanding what they were going through and how I could serve them better. Servitude is an opportunity it is a gift, truly. To be invited into someone else's life, whether it's their home, whether it's during the most vulnerable times, is a gift. And that is something that I think we're missing in this day and age.
Servitude. It's all about servitude. You had some choices. You had some options. You decided to be in this particular anthology, like the number of folks that are doing this as well. You decided to support it with your time and energy and resources. Why this anthology? And again, you might have heard me say this earlier. We all want to know, what has your experience been like?
Yes, absolutely. So this anthology, first of all, the drop your mask and put on that crown means everything, right? Because it empowers women. And the idea of collaborative work is so important, because we shouldn't be competing against one another. We should truly be focused on, if I help the woman next to me, that's only going to help me in the end as well. Yeah. So let's work together. And I met Dawn at a conference not that long ago, and like that, we clicked, and I felt safe in working with her. And so I was able to come to her with my stories, and I've always wanted to share a story, and I didn't know how. And it's been an amazing opportunity with such really loving and giving and supportive women. I wouldn't, exchange it for anything.
Don, I know you're over there sitting there listening. You're smiling, big smile on your face. This chapter's in there. It's there. It's there for a reason. We want to know why, and particularly why Dr. Bridget Williams. Talk to us.
Again, Dr. Bridget had a couple different stories. When we had our conversation, she had a couple different takes on collaboration. And to be honest with you, either one of them are just phenomenal. Making a difference in servitude. And, that's what it's all about. It's all about working with others. It's all about giving to each other, because when you give to other people, women, men, anyone, when you give to others, it will come back to you tenfold. Yes. And she is proof of that. So definitely, we clicked right away. So yeah, she was definitely a yes.
Well, thanks a lot, Dr. Bridget, for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thanks for being behind the scenes, and thanks for sharing your gift with the world. We really appreciate that. For those folks that are watching right now, you can hit the share button. Don't worry, the best is still yet to come. Yeah, they've got more, they've got more, they've got more. The best is yet to come. And as you do that, hit the share button. Hit the share button right now. Hit that button right now. Like, go to your phone. If you're on your phone, 2 thumbs. You can take 2 thumbs and share this with your network. Share this on your page. Share this on social media. Get the message out that it's time to drop the mask and share the crown. That's what this is all about. And they're here to do this for you. We're going to a segment right now called Today is My January 1st. It's one of our core beliefs. It's one of our core philosophies. And it's just this one idea that today is my January 1st. For those folks that know what I'm about to do right now, you can look right below the video. You can look right below the video and you can write those words. Today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st. For those, well, you're hearing it for the first time, represents one of those moments where you don't look at the calendar and say, is today January 1st? No. You make a decision. And anytime you make a decision and that decision could change the trajectory of your life, that's a January 1st moment. You make a decision, you're going to drop the mask and share the crown. That's a January 1st moment. You make a decision, you're going to, work out. I know. Work out. That's a January 1st moment. So it's a do-over. It's a fresh start. It's my past no longer equals the future. Today is your January 1st. My question to everyone on the panel right now, when you hear those words in 90 seconds or less, that today is my January 1st, what goes through your mind? We're going to start first the way we started before with the one and only Wendy. And then after Wendy, don't worry, we'll go over to Karmen. And then we'll go to Ida. So we'll go one by one. They know they're coming up. And then Bridget's going to bring it down the home stretch. So Wendy, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to all of y'all, by the way. Happy New Year. Hey, Happy New Year. What goes through your mind?
What goes through my mind when you say today's my January 1st? I think about the fact that I want to live my life for purpose, making sure that I am making a difference in the world no matter what, caring, sharing, and being able to motivate and encourage others. That's the life that I want to continue to live. And I want to just basically, like I said, die empty. I want to live my life for purpose, every nook and cranny of my whole being that God brought me here for. I want to be flat out empty. I don't want nobody to go to my grave site and say she had ideas, she had books, she had videos, she had movies, she had all of these different things, and it be in the grave. It won't be in the grave when it comes to Wendy. What'll happen is Wendy will be empty and they'll say she gave it all. She did what she was supposed to do. So January 1st, my January 1st is me living my life for purpose until the day I die.
Today is my January 1st. Thanks so much for sharing. We appreciate that. We're going over to the one and only Karmen. When you hear those words, today, not tomorrow, but today, in this moment, is my January 1st. What goes through your mind?
So when you say today is my January 1st, what goes through my mind is I've recently started to build this. Well, it's already been in existence, but I started to pay more attention to this hierarchy that I've built in my life. And if today is my January 1st, I will pay more attention to this hierarchy. So I would say with my hierarchy is me spending time with God and actually praying and listening. A lot of times I pray and I'm done and I get up and I move. But spending time with God in prayer and actually listening to what he is saying to me. Also perfecting my marriage, because I feel like if my marriage is good and my husband and I are on one accord, then we can be better parents. So then also working on my family dynamics. So if today is January 1st, I am working harder and giving that much more effort than I've ever done.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. I love it. Ida, we're coming over to you. Today is my January 1st. I love it. Don't you love it? I feel so energized already. What's going through your mind right now?
Today, my January 1st is I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want God to continue to order my steps and keep me in a humble and great and keep me, grateful for all of the things that happen, good, bad, whatever. Because in all of those moments, there's always been something that came out of it. And but most importantly, continue to serve. Because service is just everything for me. Everything.
Continue to serve. I love it. I continue to serve. A common theme we're hearing when they say drop the mask and share the crown, they're not saying it's all about you. They're talking about how you can serve other folks and how you can make a bigger difference in the world. All right, we're going over to you, Dr. Bridget Williams. You know the question right now. Today, I love it. It's one of my favorite segments. They're all my favorite, but this is really my favorite. That today is my January 1st. What's going through your mind?
My first thought is if today is my January 1st, then it's about reclaiming me. Obviously I'm all about servitude, whether it's my patients or my family, my children, my friends, and keeping that tribe of people that feed me and me feeding them is so important. But don't lose you, and let that January 1st be about reclaiming who you are. Whether we always talk about self-care and self-love, but really dig deep. And if you don't know what reclaiming you means, then make that reclaiming figuring out who you are, because you do have one opportunity. This is the life that you were given. Wendy was saying, this is it, and she's leaving empty. If you don't know what reclaiming you is, if you don't know what your calling is, make that your priority and make sure you search that out so that you can live your best life.
You can live your best life. I love it. I love it. Said so well. Thanks so much for sharing. We certainly appreciate that. Today, for all of you watching, is your January 1st. Today is your January 1st. Today is your January 1st. Happy New Year. You can do it. You can improve your finances. You can improve your health. You can drop the mask. You can share the crown. You can live the life that you deserve and that you want. It's possible, and everyone in the anthology can help you do that. We're going to take a moment. I'm going to go around. I'll go backwards and then forwards, and I'm going to ask them if they'll each share what line of business they're in, and they'll do it in less than 60 seconds, so don't worry about that. But it's important. I want you to know how to connect with them over and beyond today. So we're going to give them an opportunity to tell us, number one, what line of business they're in, and how you can best connect with them. And then don't worry, at the end, we're going to ask the one and only, the visionary herself, Dawn, how you can connect with the whole anthology project. I know it's got to be on your mind. I know you're like all on the edge, like, how do I do it, Shay? How do I do it? Where do I go? Where do I go? Don't worry. Dawn's going to share it with you. So let's go backwards, and then we'll do a reverse just to have a little fun. So we'll start with Bridget. Bridget, tell them what line of business you're in and how can folks best connect with you?
Absolutely. So I am a family physician. I'm also owner of a CBD company, and I help people get into the industry by creating products and helping the white labels as well as selling my own. And I'm a medical cannabis physician as well. So, and a life coach. So the best way to reach me is at drbridgetmd.com, and of course on all social media channels.
Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate that. All right, over to you, Ida. How can folks best connect with you, and what line of business are you in?
I'm a IT professional, over 25 years in the business. I'm also a talk show host have an international podcast and television show. And you can reach me at jmmbradio@gmail.com and all social media outlets.
Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate that. Karmen, how can folks best connect with you? And more importantly, what line of business are you in?
Well, I consider myself a multi-mogul, so there is several lines of business that I am in. I am a software engineer. I have a women's boutique. I also own a home health agency. I partner with three other women with the CBD dispensary, a local one, and then we just started a trucking company here recently. So I have several different business ventures, but I'm also a startup business coach. So I can be reached at on my Instagram. It's at the Karmen Trice brand. Same on social media, same on Facebook at the Karmen Trice brand, and then my email is Karmen at the KarmenTricebrand.com.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate that. Okay, over to you, Wendy. Over to you. How can folks best connect with you, and what line of business, well, are you in?
Well, I am CEO and founder of Beautifully Integrated with Love, and my DBA is Self-Love Redefined. I'm also a mentor and a sexual assault and domestic violence advocate. What I do is I am considered to be a transitional support specialist, more like a coach, but I help people to transition from one place to another, depending on the situation. But the way that they can get in contact with me is at selfloveredefined.com, and also the same way with all social media outlets as well.
Thank you so much for sharing. Dawn. You brought together a team. You have a collaboration. You know, one of my 12 rules for life. One of my 12 rules for life is that collaboration crushes competition. I'll say it again. Collaboration crushes competition. And they're collaborating. They're working together. There's some folks that say, well, I don't know. Do women still work together from different backgrounds, different colors, different areas, different perspectives? Does that even still work? Is it possible? And the answer has always been yes, but you've once again reinforced that it's yes. And they're here tonight for one reason only, and that is to serve and add value. As my mama would say, yeah, you got to serve, but you got to add some value too while you're serving up in here at our church. So they're adding value as well. So tell folks, how can they connect with the Anthology Project? How can they get on the list or for the book? So take a moment and frame it up for us, if you would, please. We're excited. I'm glad that not only did you have the vision, but you did something about it. There's so many folks that have a vision, Don, and guess what? They don't do anything about it. Someone says, Shay, you shouldn't tell about your ideas. They might steal it. I said, they don't have time to steal their own ideas. More or less my ideas. All right, but that's just Shay Brown. This is not about me. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Don, why? Talk to us.
Well, you know, there are a lot of women and men that are very competitive, right? And so, but not every single person is in competition with you. There are some of us that just want everyone to win. I know that I would be nowhere near where I am in my business and in my career without the help of other women and men. Right. So if I didn't have, Shay Brown, with me, there are tons of things that I wouldn't know. And do we look alike? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it is the best connection ever. And so that's what I'm trying to say here. Our country right now is in a huge divide, and it's created by lots of social injustice. Absolutely. It's also created by a lot of instilled beliefs, on all sides with all different people. And we need to put that down, and we need to just act in love. And you cannot work with every single person. That's just life. But if you can't work with 1% of the people, what about the other 99% that can take you to your next level? So that's where I'm at with the whole vision. I can be reached at Dawn Lieck Enterprise, as well as Dawn Lieck across all social media. And we are going to launch this fabulous project on May the 13th. So look for me. You will see already now. Just go on my social media, Dawn Lieck, and you will see the crowns and the masks and all of the different information about the anthology, so that you can get your copy on May 13th. The digital copy will be available. That will be our bestseller launch. And we would love and appreciate your support on that day, so we can hit the bestseller #1. Not just bestseller. We want #1 in numerous categories. That's the deal. We're in it to win it. So
I love it. If I had the song, all I do is win, win, win. I know that's old school. My son hates that. I'll be playing that right now. Okay. I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation. I got remix versions on everything. I got my AARP card. I know it's bad, but I would play all I do is win, win, win for you, Don. But we can't do that because we don't have rights to play the music. Okay, but anyway, love what you're doing. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. All of you that are doing this, thank you so much for allowing us to be behind the scenes on a Happy Entrepreneur Show and have this exclusive. It really is an honor, and it really is a privilege to do this. What I like to do, Don, as we come down the home stretches, I like to give each person about 90 seconds to share their words to empower, to inspire. As we know, this broadcast will come to a close, right? And so folks that are listening right now, when these lights go off and these fiber optic lines aren't broadcasting, you've got to drop the mask. You've got to share the crown. And so they all got their closing remarks for you, and I want to give them time to share those with you. So you all lean in now. Like all of y'all lean in and you listen with new ears and watch with new eyes. We'll start kind of the way we went. We'll kick off with the one and only Wendy. And Wendy, when you come on, you can have your final thoughts to empower and to inspire folks. And then from Wendy, don't worry, we'll go over to Karmen, I think, was next. And then after Karmen, we'll go to Ida. And then Bridget will bring it down the home stretch. And now have Don have some final thoughts. So, Bridget, let me say thanks a lot for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you. Over to you for your final comments in the next 90 seconds or less. Then, by the way, ladies, they like the word less more than 90 seconds. They like the word less a little more than 90 seconds. But I don't want to put any pressure on you, okay? Okay, I'm just joking. Okay, go ahead. Take it away.
Well, my final words is, if you're ever given the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life by just being the person that they have watched for a long period of time, whether it be a child, a coworker, somebody's parent, or whatever, if you're able to make a difference in at least one person's life, that'll make all the difference in the world.
All the difference in the world. Godspeed. We appreciate you so much. All right, over to you now, Karmen, for your final thoughts to empower and to inspire us, please. Thanks a lot again for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you. Can't wait to read your chapter, by the way, all of you.
Thank you. Well, my final thoughts, I would talk to someone who wants to be successful in business. I would say set your goals, make sure you're sticking to your goals, you're staying committed, you're staying consistent, and have boldness when it comes to your goals. Attack them, because success is definitely not for the weak. So have your mind made up.
Yeah. Again, thanks for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Not for the weak. I certainly appreciate that. Ida, over to you for your final thoughts and comments. Again, thank you as well for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you and your time.
Thank you so much. My thing is just be who you are. Find your path, do your thing, and let God lead the way.
Powerfully. So well said. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Bridget. Dr. Bridget Williams in the building, in the house over there. Your final thoughts to close us out. We appreciate you being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Appreciate all you're doing and appreciate you sharing this message and this story. All of you together collectively will make this world a better place. Not just your neighborhood, not just someone that reads it, but it'll go on long after you do. So thanks a lot for allowing me to be a part of this project. Over to you for your final thoughts.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shay. So my final thought to you is, at my office, Green Harvest Health, we always talk about reclaiming your wellness, but I challenge people today to reclaim your life. And whatever your situation might be, whatever your difficulties might be, whatever you've had to put off because you had to do something to carry and pick up someone else, let today be a day where you start the process of reclaiming your life, so that you feel rewarded and blessed in it.
Rewarded and blessed. Thanks a lot for sharing. We certainly appreciate that. Dawn, you've done it again. You've allowed me to be behind the scenes. You allowed the Happy Entrepreneur Show to have this exclusive. I certainly appreciate it. You trust us, and we appreciate that. Appreciate all the work that you're doing. I know what goes on behind the scenes I know where the energy is. I know where your heart is, and certainly that came across. So continue to do God's work. Continue to get the message out there. Continue to get us all working together so we can drop the mask, so we can share the crown, and we can do that. And I'm cool to be behind the scenes and be a part of this as a guy. So thanks so much. I want to turn it over to you to have your final thoughts, your final comments for those folks that are watching and listening right now. Once again, thanks for having us on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you.
So I guess my final thoughts is a challenge. And I just want to challenge everyone that's watching, to reach out to someone that you don't know. Reach out to someone that doesn't look like you. Reach out to someone that isn't the same religion as you, that isn't the same size as you, that isn't the same race as you. Reach out to someone and get to know them and just watch what will happen. When we stifle ourselves. We do it all the time. We have these beliefs or we worry, well, if I talk to this person, what will this person think? You know what I mean? We're not in high school anymore. We're not in high school. We are grown, and we need to do, what God set out for us to do was for us to get along and to love each other. And so we can make the difference. We just have to take that first step, put our egos down, put the instilled beliefs down, whatever they may be. And if you really think about it, we all have instilled beliefs of some sort from childhood, about different people and different things. And so put all that down, be grown, and just reach out to someone and make a difference. If we all do this, we can make a difference in this world. I know I can't fix the world by myself, but me and this team are sure giving it a good go.
And you're doing a fantastic job. Thanks a lot for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. For those folks that are out there, if you haven't hit the share button, hit the share button. If you haven't done that, pay this message forward. Help another little girl or little boy that's out there right now, a big girl, big boy is out there right now, so they can drop the mask, so they can share the crown, because today is your January 1st. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I want you to know that you're amazing. You have greatness inside you. As I said before, today is what? Your January 1st. You can't drop the mask. Today is your January 1st. You can share the crown. There's enough for everybody. And for you, as you're watching right now, and I want you to know that the future is bright. Put your sunglasses on. The best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, for those folks that care, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember this, time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So we got to live in the moment, and we got to make it count. God bless, and we wish you success. Thanks a lot, ladies. We appreciate you. Thanks for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Can't wait to connect. We're out here. Bye-bye, everyone. See y'all again later. Bye-bye. Peace, ladies and gentlemen. We gone. Peace. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. If you going in, put your hands. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless. And cut.